What's good? What's good? What's good? Thank you. I can't recognize this. They're not so thank you guys for tuning in, fans. I got my man Cleavon as always. Got Tyler Dragon joining us today. For a quick moment, Tyler, we're gonna get the show started like each week, like we do, just like this. So give us a minute.
Who am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name is
Cameron.
Cam Buford.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
This is a big year for Tua to prove that he's a franchise quarterback.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
As a competitor, how much does that competitive spirit get in there and say, I want to fight this guy. I want to get some of this guy.
Of course, I want to fight all the guys. Of course that. But at the same time, like I keep telling you, it's a business.
Talk about that loyalty for a moment.
I'm staying there to try to make a change. Get back to the youth, get back to my community and show them that there is hope that you can make it out. Only thing is you just got to be dedicated. You got to keep your head down and stay on this course that you're heading towards.
Think about it like this. The promoter pays the fighter. The fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter. The fighter works
for the promoter. Okay.
If you can see, you can believe.
So you are lifting weights currently?
Hey, right in the middle of the show.
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with him?
To me, it's easy to score more than
On your team, it's ball number. Is he number 2 option or is he number 3 option? On your team's team. 30 nights a year, he's my number 1 option. 30 nights.
Can I finish right now? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me?
What do you
Which
think?
one?
What do you think about these upcoming?
Okay. Like I was saying before.
Well, every game's a new game, so each one's a different experience, different defense, different players, different game plan. So.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show voice of the fan
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
Real ones know what's going on, right?
Like you said, it's a different voice, so I think it's a big part of my game. And every time I step on the floor, I just want to represent myself.
You play this game and you don't turn not to win a championship, then why are you playing for?
I'm happy for the Mariners. I'm happy
Yeah,
for the
Ken, nobody.
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
Look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real surprised at that, Ken.
Hey, give here. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sports. Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's week 263 of this iteration of the Voice of the Fans podcast. I'm thankful to have my guy, Mr. Tyler Dragon, joining us, and I got Cleavon as always. Cleavon, Tyler, just real quick. Cleavon claims to have gone to school in Montlake, where they wear purple and gold down there. And again, he gives no love to those guys down in Montlake. This is one of the best seasons ever, isn't it, Cleavon? Best season ever?
Not quite just yet. I mean, the best season was the 91-92 season when they won the national championship.
Oh, they shared the national championship, didn't they? They had to share one.
Okay, so they won the national championship, and this season is very, very close to that so far.
Very. I mean, how'd you guys look on against Arizona State?
They won. They won that game, and they will move on.
I said, how'd you guys look though? If you want to, how'd you guys look against Arizona State? How'd he look?
He looked like a Heisman Trophy potential winner. That's how he looked.
I don't know. He might have lost that trophy, Heisman Trophy, on Saturday. Mr. Tyler Dragon, did you see Penix on Saturday? Are you following Penix's career?
I am. I'm
Pac-12 fan. RIP to the conference after this year as a former UCLA athlete. I can't talk too much about Washington because UCLA is disappointed me multiple times this year. So, I will be a hypocrite if I made fun of the undefeated Washington Huskies when UCLA has some,
you don't have to be so nice to those guys. You don't have to be
their record.
You don't have to be.
However, in a couple years, I think that it's going to be a role reversal because UCLA's rookie quarterback, Dante Moore from Motown, Detroit, he's going to be a player. He's struggling a little bit as a freshman, but a couple years from now, we're going to be talking about him about one of the best quarterback prospects coming out.
So, as a Southern California resident, where does UCLA football fall on the totem pole? Are they're right in long? Are they ahead of the Chargers? If there might be one notch ahead of the Chargers.
Come on now.
Seriously.
In my heart, they're above USC. In my heart, they are above USC.
Realistically, objectively, where does
you're
UCLA
asking a former UCLA student athlete this question?
Well,
I'm
asking an astute journalist who has the ability to be unbiased and completely objective.
This is true, but I don't cover college sports, so I'm going to be biased. UCLA is above USC in every way possible.
Oh boy! So no track from you. No track from you this season. You want to be
and Cam, the Seahawks are so happy to have some of those UCLA players like Charbonnet,
Bobo. Yes.
To contribute to what can happen here.
I thought I at least could get a legitimate answer.
Tyler.
At least get a legitimate answer where UCLA falls in the UCLA football falls in the pecking order. And I think without even listing it, I think they're probably 10 or 11 in the
10 or 11
in the Southern California sports pantheon. UCLA football is probably 10 or 11. Yes, absolutely.
That's disrespectful.
I mean, it's true. It's facts, actually. It's facts. So let's get into it, guys. What we're going to talk about today is the NFL, Week 7 in the NFL. We're going to talk about NBA season, the inaugural season. We got Wemby going up against Luka tonight. So I really appreciate both of you guys for joining us because this is a big game and something we all going to take notice of. Obviously, we're going to get into our fantasy football competitions, Cleavon. We'll get some Cleveland to talk about the World Series. Kind of the Major League Baseball playoffs has not gone how everybody anticipated. We got some surprising teams in there. But we start our show off each and every week with it being October 25, year 2023, week number 263, with our numbers game. Mr. Tyler, when you think of the number 25, what number? Who wore that number best?
I was trying to hurry up and Google 25 because I'm terrible. Can you two go first, and then I'm going to come up with one that you two did not come up with.
I'll go first.
Yeah,
I'll go first. I like this number for a lot of reasons.
Are you going to say Mark McGuire, Cleveland?
The person that comes to mind first is Richard Sherman, cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks.
Shady McCoy.
The person that wore the number the best is Barry Lamar Bonds.
Shady. I mean, did Doug Christie go to Washington, or he just played down there in Washington at Heck Ed Pavilion when it was Heck Ed?
No, Doug went to Pepperdine, man. He's a Rainier Beach dude. Then he went to Sacramento.
So there you go. Mark McGuire, Richard Sherman, Shady McCoy, Doug Christie. I had to throw him in there, give him some hometown love. You got anybody that wore the number 25 that come to your mind?
I do now. I think the obvious answer is Barry Bonds. He should be in the Hall of Fame, number one. But since you two have not said him, Ricky Henderson, ward number 25 for the Boston Red Sox.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good call.
Good call with that one. Okay.
So number 63 is obviously going to be a little bit tougher, but if you got one for number 63, Cleavon, go ahead, shoot.
I got 0 and I got 0 for 63. My dude, so sorry.
Gene Upshaw. You heard of Gene Upshaw, right?
Mm.
Willie Lanier. You got 1 for 63. There's still one more left. A pretty well known.
You look all these up. That's not fair.
I mean,
That's
some of
not
these
fair.
are off the top of my head though, but you heard of Leroy Selman. I mean,
that's
yeah. You heard of Leroy Selman.
The numbers.
I mean, it's just going to be a whole bunch of offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's. I mean, again, kind of got to do your homework, Tyler. Got to do your homework, man. Astute journalist.
I wasn't given an assignment until now. It's like a pop quiz, like at the first day of school. Like what?
Just gotta see what you're thinking. All right, Mr. Tyler, I know our time is short, so I've pared down some of our conversations. I pared down some of our conversation, but based off of what we've seen in the last NFL game we've seen was Kirk Cousins. I know you weren't high on Brock Purdy. I know you weren't high on Brock Purdy as the last time we spoke along Twitter. I was Brock Purdy. I was okay with them, but Kirk Cousins, what's your stance on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings? And who would you particularly like to start your team with, Brock Purdy or Kirk Cousins?
Brock Purdy. And I never said I'm not high on Brock Purdy. I said that he's more of a system type quarterback and product to the environment. However, he has thrived in that system since he's been in the league, sans these 2 past couple games. When I look at Kirk Cousins, he can get erratic at times. He'll throw up big numbers, but then when you need him to make a play, he has oftentimes not been able to make it or crucial throw. And I've seen it. I saw it even in that win against the San Francisco 49ers. There were a couple of throws near the end zone that he just did not make. The game against the Chargers, interception within the 10-yard line could have been a potentially game-winning touchdown. So when I look at both quarterbacks, I would pick Brock Purdy because, one, he's younger and he can develop into a better quarterback. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be some Hall of Fame, multi-time Pro Bowl, All-Pro type quarterback, but he has proven in a short sample size that if you put the correct pieces around him, he can be accurate and throw with precision and throw on time, which is crucial in the NFL.
Yeah, his anticipatory skills are exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his ability, and that actually caused a couple of interceptions yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have he wasn't in sync with his receiver, which he's anticipating his receiver being there, throwing the ball early, which caused him the couple of those turnovers. I finally got Cleavon on board last week to applaud the services of Brock Purdy. Cleavon, now after the 2 losses, have your thoughts changed, Cleavon? Because Cleavon's like the AP poll. He 1 week, everything changes week to week now. He clarified for me last week. He liked the AP poll. Everything changes, Cleavon. So how do you feel this week about Mr. Brock Purdy?
Oh, I've changed 117%. I listened to you and Tyler try and brainwash me into believing that, Brock Purdy was that dude. And I kept saying, like, hey, man, he is like a lizard. He needs a certain type of terrarium, a certain type of environment to really actually flourish. And oh my goodness, how different he looks without Deebo Samuel.
Oh,
Tyler.
Yeah, but you can say that about a lot.
Different without Deebo Samuel.
You can say that about a lot of quarterbacks.
Different when he plays from behind.
Mm-hmm.
He's reverting back to who I thought he was ultimately going to be. And I gotta change my stance, Cam. So sorry.
I mean, you'll be sorry when it's in the long run. You apologize to the fans.
He's back to Trent Dilfer 2.0. Just like I told both of you gentlemen before. And
Trent Dilfer?
You said it was blasphemy. You said it was blasphemy when I said it, but no, that's who he is.
Yeah, he said he called it Trent Dilfer, but he forgets Trent Dilfer actually won a Super Bowl. But
Sure did with that Ravens defense. Sure did, and that 1,000-yard rusher in Jamal Lewis. Sure did.
Yeah, but you remember you're recalling Trent Dilfer when he played for your Seahawks. That's the problem. So we disagree on Kirk Cousins. You'll come around. I expect you to say that after 2 back-to-back losses. Never minding kind of what happened in these losses. I expect.
And to be fair, the one loss. I mean, the rookie kicker missed the, a very
he drove him down the field.
1 yard. He drove him down the field and did that. I mean,
what you want to see?
They were certainly supposed to win that game without question. So,
Kirk Cousins get a primetime win on Monday night. It's kind of hard to excuse that one. I mean, I haven't been in Minnesota. I haven't been in the stadium. I don't know, but they're losing to Kirk Cousins on Monday night. That's a tough.
If he beats Joe Burrow and the Bengals if he gets out of concussion protocol?
I think I have them winning. I think I have them beating Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
It's not gonna happen.
I think I have them beating.
JB's healthy now, homie.
Well, we'll see. We'll have that discussion later. Tyler, I know you have the Ravens winning the Super Bowl, going to and winning the Super Bowl. Was that win? I mean, we expected the Lions versus Ravens was one of my games of the week last week, and that was over by halftime. Like it was. Was that more Ravens, better Ravens, bad Lions? What do you think? What do you think in that game?
Better Ravens. That was their most complete game of the season. Probably their best game in the last two years, honestly. They played complementary football. Their offense was clicking, their defense was clicking, and their special teams, which has been probably the most consistent in the last few seasons with Justin Tucker, was clicking as well. I mean, you look at the way Lamar Jackson is playing, and it's not just running the football anymore. The Ravens don't have to be a run-oriented, run 40 times a game type football team. He's airing it out. He's probably having his best passing season as a pro. The addition of Zay Flowers has been really good for that team. Odell Beckham, he's not the same player as he once was. I expected a little bit more out of him this season, but he's contributed a little bit. And even with, not the flashy Odell Beckham, Lamar Jackson is still thriving. We all know what Mark Andrews can do at tight end. I like the offensive line when they're healthy. And then on the defensive side of the football, they every now and then they have some lapses, but they're a better unit than a lot of people think. I like their blitz packages, and they can cause a lot of people problems. And when I looked at this Ravens roster prior to the season, it was one of the better rosters in the NFL. I knew Lamar Jackson was going to be motivated because everybody in the NFL world, especially in that division, was like Joe Burrow's best quarterback in the division. Joe Burrow's arguably the number 2 quarterback in the NFL. And that's why Lamar Jackson is motivated. Who's having a better season right now, Lamar or Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
Joe Burrow this season hurt.
No. Whose problem is that? Is that Lamar's fault?
It's only week 7.
Who's having the better season right now?
Finished the last 2 seasons, so he hasn't finished the last 2 seasons. So
Joe Burrow's finished 1 out. I mean, he was hurt 1 season out of 2. So
he started the season hurt. As of today, Lamar Jackson is having a better season. Yes, as of this moment, as the week 263 of the voice of the fans. Yes, Lamar Jackson is having a better season, but Lamar Jackson has not finished the last 2 seasons. You know that.
So 2 months from now, let's revisit this conversation, and I guarantee you're gonna say, "All right, Tyler,
don't give me no maternity leave. Don't give me I'm on maternity leave. I don't want to hear I'm on maternity leave. We're busy. I don't want to hear any of that excuses because we're going to talk to you in 2 months."
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, 2 months from now.
That's clear.
When the Ravens win the division,
the Ravens. Harbaugh, I really like Harbaugh. Consistently, they have a good defense. Even though Cleveland called me out last season when I was talking about the Ravens defense, he asked me to name somebody on the defense, and I was struggling. To name somebody on the defense. It's even worse this year, Cleveland. It's even worse this year. However, the defense consistently is a good defense. They stop the run. You can't just put up a bunch of big numbers on them, although the Dolphins did last year. but they consistently have a good defense. The running game, I don't know how they run. I don't know who these guys are who running the ball. Gus Edwards. I mean, seriously,
Justice
Gus Edwards.
Hill.
I mean, come on. I don't know who these guys are. They've been able to consistently run the ball ever since, even after Ray Rice, they just consistently be able to run the ball. We all know Lamar's talents. And yes, as you mentioned, Lamar has some weapons. So Odell, I didn't expect him to be much more than a possession receiver this season. So he's getting that out of him. Zay Flowers is his best threat that he's had in years. So yes, he's having fun with that. And obviously Edwards or Andrews, the tight end. I mean, he's having a field day. Hopefully he can stay healthy and finish the season out. I'm not wishing.
You know players in that defense though. Give yourself more credit than that.
I truly who the cornerback is hurt. The cornerback who's been hurt. Has he played 2 games?
He's back.
Humphreys.
What about the middle linebacker, Roquan Smith? He's one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL.
He's bounced around the league though. He hasn't been a mainstay with the He hasn't been a mainstay with the Ravens. So I'm saying they had Calais Campbell there for a couple years, but it's the point I was making is that they bring those guys together to formulate, come like Voltron and just have a solid defense, and that's been the defense for years. So I know I don't have them winning the Super Bowl, but they're going to be good. And again, I'm hoping Lamar stays healthy and finish the season.
They'll have a better record than the Dolphins.
That's coming up. That was my next topic. Cleveland, go ahead. What you got on the Ravens?
I would just say, wow, 21 for 27, 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and a running touchdown. That is the MVP version of Lamar Jackson. Is it sustainable? I'm not quite sure. It was quite surprising that it happened against the Detroit Lions, this up and coming juggernaut from the NFC that was supposed to do some things. And
that's the one thing I did like is when somebody stood up against them who we thought was going to be a formidable competition. Like they put it to those guys. That's what I did like about that game on Sunday.
So Cam, here's what I say is that if you see this version of Lamar Jackson every week, it's going to be a problem. The problem is you don't see this version of Lamar Jackson that often since the MVP season when it was like that thing. And when it was that thing, it was really more with his legs and his ability to extend drives and get out of the pocket and, get yardage for, a first down, so on and so forth. But hey, man, to Zay and Mark Andrews, and if he can continue to do that, it's going to be an issue because this team is more physical than all the rest of the teams in the AFC.
Change is their offense. Have you seen it? Have you noticed the difference in the offense, Tyler?
I noticed different. His offense computer was broken.
Did I freeze up, Cleveland? You there?
Yeah, you both froze up. You froze up when you were answering the question, and now Tyler froze up.
Yeah, it looked like Tyler froze up. I don't know if Tyler froze on us. That UCLA connection right there. That's how good that UCLA connection is. But you see, Tyler wants to bang on my Dolphins. He had a lot to say about the Dolphins. He's not a Dolphin fan.
So we can get back to his Dolphin talk. That'd be great because I want to get into some Dolphin talk.
I know you do. I
do.
I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry, fans. Man, this is the best part of the show. because he went to bang on the Dolphins. Something else I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to bring up was Swifty and the Chiefs. I mean the Chargers. We're gonna get into the Chargers. The Swifty and the Chiefs look good. The Chiefs look good. How do you have a division rival? You play a division rival, right? You're familiar with these guys, and then you leave Kelsey open. You're playing zone and leave the middle wide open for Kelsey all game long. Kelsey had over 100.
That's up to them and their defensive scheme and how they want to approach and attack the Kansas City offense.
But this is a team that you face. You face this team twice a year.
Well, Cam, you're
supposed to know what their strength is, right?
You can't shut down everything, so you have to leave something.
No, you can't shut down everything. You shut down the one thing that they do. There's one receiver on that team. You shut down the one guy who is the biggest threat on the team. You should be able to do that.
They decided that they wanted to shut down all the other things and make them beat you with Travis Kelce.
And so they wanted Travis Kelce to whip him in the head. They needed Travis Kelce to whip him in the head to show them who he is, who they thought he was. That's what they needed.
Well, yeah, make him beat you and take out all the other options.
I mean, that was absolutely embarrassing. The defense that Brandon Staley played on the played against the Kansas City Chiefs. Real quick, I know our time is short, but I want to get into this Dolphin talk, and I got to play this for you, Tyler.
Well, Cam, first and foremost, I want to take this opportunity, fans, to say that I am firmly on the 305 bandwagon. The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, now? No, you didn't have them go. Since when? Since when? Because you didn't have them going into the world. We can go to the tape.
My goodness, rivaling the greatest show on turf. I mean, maybe top 3 offense of all time. The way McDaniel has got those guys clicking. If they can get home field advantage and not have to go any cold weather places, I see no reason this team shouldn't be in the Super Bowl. Okay.
Again, I got Mr. AP poll. I got Mr. AP poll. I got Mr. AP poll.
I stand behind it.
So you said in our text message back and forth, Cleveland, you weren't privy to this, but Tyler says first of all, he didn't have the Dolphins at the beginning of the season. He didn't have the Dolphins making the playoffs.
But then I changed it when Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Oh, with Aaron. I'm gonna let you off the hook on that one. But just a couple of days ago, you said Tua was not a top 10 quarterback. Is that what you said?
I mean, he's fringe top 10. He's definitely not top 5.
Okay, top 5, fair enough. Top 10 quarterback, Tyler. Are you wanting to hold on to that one right now?
He is playing right now like a top 10 quarterback. I will say that
he's playing like. I mean, that sounds like you're still not convinced. To me, that still sounds like you're still not convinced.
I probably have him around 9 or 10 in the NFL.
Okay, so who? With that being said, who do you have in front of him? Do you have Dak Prescott in front of him?
All right, let's go.
Do you have Jared Goff in front of him?
In the AFC alone, in his division, he is the second best quarterback. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, he's the third best. So are we going to count Aaron Rodgers or no?
No, Aaron Rodgers, is he playing? Is Aaron Rodgers playing?
Okay, so now let's go to the AFC South. He's not. Is
he better than Trevor Lawrence? Is he better than Trevor Lawrence?
No.
He's not. You would rather have Trevor Lawrence, but he's not. You're saying he's not playing better than Trevor Lawrence? Because I know you would pick him if they were in a draft. You would pick.
Is a better quarterback.
Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback.
Yes, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback. So that's 2 right there. Okay. So then we're gonna go to the AFC North.
Do you take Herbert? Do you take Herbert in front of Tua?
Oh, we're in AFC North now.
We're in the North. We're in the North, Cam. Come on.
We're in the North.
Stay on the page. Stay on the
Jackson Burrow.
This is very
he's probably better than all the quarterbacks in AFC North. Wait. Hold on. Never mind. No, wait.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, no. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow are better than Tua, AFC North. Sorry, I got mixed up with my divisions.
Okay. So we got four.
I was thinking NFC North for a second. And then AFC West. He's not better than Patrick Mahomes. And no, he's not better than Justin Herbert.
So there's 6.
So that's
6
already.
We're at 6 already.
NFC yet.
Who? Yeah, I don't know. Josh Allen. Josh Allen in his career. What Josh Allen's been in the career?
Man, Josh Allen.
He's been in the league for 5 years, right? He's been in the league 5 years. I've been or 6 years. I've been confident. There was a 3 to 7 last year. I was like, okay, Josh Allen is showing some promise. But the rest of the weeks,
Josh Allen's better than Tua. Just stop.
Cam, we had 6. I'm intrigued by this list, though. Let's get to the NFC, Tyler. Let's do it.
So NFC West. Mm-hmm. Career-wise, I'd rather have Matthew Stafford.
So we had 7.
You lucky Kyler Murray's hurt. You lucky Kyler Murray's hurt.
You have Kyler Murray better than
I can't have him right now because he's hurt. We're not counting hurt quarterbacks. But if we're counting all quarterbacks, I'm putting Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray. So we already at 10.
You got Kyler Murray ahead of Tua Tagovailoa? Are you serious?
NFC North. Okay, so this is the division I got.
How many games?
Better than all quarterbacks.
How many games has Kyler Murray won?
We had 7, Cam. We had 7, Cam.
He's better than all the quarterbacks in NFC North. NFC South, he's better than all the quarterbacks in NFC South. So then we get to NFC East. I have definitely Justin Hurts and Dak Prescott better too.
Okay, so that's 9.
So 10 right there.
That's where he falls in the 10. He's the 10th best quarterback.
I wish I had more time with you, but this is on tape. I wish I had more time with you, and I hate to cut you off and kick you off the show, but with this poor journalism you showed tonight, I mean, I think you lost some credibility with you.
I like that. I like that introspection. That was interesting.
10, and that's not counting the 2 hurt quarterbacks. So
2 hurt quarterbacks. He didn't even throw in Jared Goff. He could have.
I know you got to
throw in Jared Goff,
but he didn't.
You got to come back. You got to come back. You got to come back.
I could have thrown in Geno Smith.
Could have, but didn't.
You got to come back. I'm gonna let you go, man. Go ahead.
12.
Thank you for joining us.
Ooh, my guy.
I'm hitting the roof. I'm kicking you off right now. Yeah. Goodbye. We'll talk to you soon, man. Kiss the wife for us. Thank you for joining.
I love it. I love it, T.
He went CJ Stroud and Geno Smith. Now, to be all honest, to be 100 fan, I'm gonna show you guys this list. I'm gonna show you this list that I have. And
that list was very informative. That was quite interesting. I liked it.
Can you guys see this? Here he goes right here. Here's the list I have right here. Mahomes, Jackson, Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, and I understand why people would take Trevor Lawrence. I understand. That's 5 right there. And I have Tua, Allen, Purdy, Prescott, Goff, Geno Smith. And who else did he have on the list? Who else did he say? Kyler Murray, and you're over here celebrating that? Come on, Cleveland.
No, he said he didn't include Kyler Murray because he was hurt.
Right, but if he was
healthy, he would have included.
He would have had him on the list, and that would have been 13. Come on, Tyler. Come on, Tyler. I don't know if there's 13 quarterbacks.
I didn't disagree with the list at all.
When you had Kyler Murray ahead of Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, I mean, I can't, claim players that aren't playing. So I mean, that doesn't count. But the rest of the list sound pretty legit, didn't it?
Well, no, it didn't. It did not. Matthew Stafford.
Which okay. Matthew Stafford, okay. questionable, but
Dak
whatever.
Prescott is not better than Tua. Dak Prescott is not better than Tua. Jared Goff. I mean, these are some questions. I had Josh Allen's arguable. Jared Goff, Geno Smith is you wouldn't put Geno Smith ahead of Tua Tagovailoa. You wouldn't have put you couldn't have put Geno. I'll just give you the Seattle Seahawks Geno Smith. I won't even give you the history of Geno Smith. I'll just say the Seattle Seahawks Geno Smith. You can't put him ahead of Tua. Can you? Here I am defending Tua, oddly enough. It wasn't even
oddly enough, but Cam, can I?
Wasn't even my position to defend him. But
Cam, can I project a little bit into the future, if I may?
Go ahead.
Okay. October's almost over. It's going to get into November and December.
You're not looking at the schedule. You got to stop with that. You got to stop with that logic. 6 of their games, they don't leave.
Tagovailoa has not proven to be very healthy.
They don't leave.
Not very durable over the course of the season to this point, which has been your major knock on him, correct? That he's just a little bit fragile, and that ultimately we're going to get to that point where he's just not playing games.
But he's playing today. Right now, he's playing 7 games.
Frustrated and upset, and asked why they didn't trade all the picks to get Joe Burrow. And you know how you do, Cam. Right now,
he played all 7 games.
Right now, you love it because that offense is woo. When it's going on all cylinders, that's great. They have a lot of games at home, a little bit later in the season. But hey, man, it's about to get cold. It's about to be Winterfell out there.
So everybody watched the game on Sunday night. Everybody watched the game where they just got pushed around. You tell me, you tell me, was Jalen Carter not the number 1 draft pick in the NFL draft last year? Was he not the best talent? Or did you see how he just shoved my guard? Just 2 hands shoved him back into Tua, and then the guard got stepped on by his tackle, and he's he might be done for the next month because he got stepped on by another 300-pounder. But did you see how just Jalen Carter just throwing dudes around?
Well, I'm sorry he didn't have more of a Reggie White type of background and mentality coming out of college, because quite possibly he would have been the number 1 pick in the draft, and you would have seen and really appreciate what it is that he's able to do. As much as I love my guy Devin Witherspoon, it's like, which one would you rather have? It's kind of hard to say.
Hey, no, you gotta. Hey, we're gonna get to Pete and John. We're gonna get to Pete and John in a minute. You might want to take that back. This kid Witherspoon is making plays week after week after week after week.
I know. I love him to death.
He's made plays every week this season. Well,
okay, but don't. Okay, whoa.
He's not the run.
Don't act like he was all like, hyped up on the pick when it happened. You called it a mistake.
No, I don't know if I called it a mistake. It was just another cornerback. That's all it was, just another corner.
Rewind the tape.
I mean, it wasn't nothing special. It was just another
challenge
dude.
Flag. Yeah.
It was just another dude to throw the challenge flag. I like that one. That commercial is pretty funny too, by the way. But no, I'm just saying. I'm just watching the game, and it's not that I'm looking for number 21. I'm just watching the football game, and he's out there making football plays. And those are when that happens, when he jumps out at the screen at you, it's even more revealing than you looking for reasons to like the guy. You know what I mean? You're looking for reasons to say yes, to validate your opinions. But when you're just watching the game and he jumps out at you, and this is what this kid has done for the last 3 weeks, notably, it's like woof. It's like woof. But that dude, I mean, the Eagles. We talked about it. That was one of the things that we talked about looking into the season. How were these University of Georgia players? How were they going to thrive on that team together? Right. That was one of the things I'm trying to look forward to specifically. Where do we have that? Eagles experiment. Will Jalen Carter have an impact and that Georgia impact? That was one of the topics that we were looking forward to see. Early in the season, what happens? And I'd say they're having an impact. I'm not sure about you. What would you say? I say
I
they're.
would 100% agree, and they've become very cohesive, and they're learning and growing together, man. Yeah, getting better every game.
Okay, fans, I'm gonna do this real quick, and I know, hopefully this doesn't take too long, but I'm gonna do something real quick, Cleveland, that you're probably not gonna be excited. And this is my thoughts on Cleveland. How do you feel about the tush push, as they're calling it? How do you feel about this?
I'm cool with it. I love it.
You're cool with it, and you love it. He says.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. All right, sorry, fans. I knew I had my stuff lined up. But let me give you guys this here. Not that one. That's not share, but let's go share this one here because the tush push. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not. I'll leave it right there at that. I'm not a huge fan of that. So this is. Can you see this one? You can't see this at the screen. Can you see this?
Got it now.
Okay, so we all remember this, right? We all remember this cheating that was going on. This was an illegal play. When this went on, this was a legal play, right? What do we see here? We see Reggie Bush go and push the ball carrier, right? That's all we need to see of that, right? We see Reggie Bush go push the ball carrier, correct? That was an illegal play when that happened. However, it wasn't called. And so what you see now is the rule book. The NFL and CFL continue with the foul. In 2025 National Football League made the penalty for only pulling and carrying, removing the flag for pushing, right? So that was 2005 when that Bush push. That was right there, right about that time, right? So now let's look at this play here. Can you still see the screen? You still with us?
So gotcha.
Okay, so now let's look at this play here. And this is from the NFL rule book
situation, and it's going to be
Can you hear
the
this?
tight
Can you
end
hear it
here,
talking?
number 88, on this push by the quarterback, attempting to get into the end zone.
So you
trying
see,
to run a quarterback sneak.
The push and then the pull
grasp
and
circles
carry, right?
the quarterback,
You see that, right?
and then pulls him into the,
which we know is illegal, right? We know that's illegal, correct? Do we agree on that? We know that's illegal. So there was Tyler's picks right there. So with those two plays, Cleveland, I just want to highlight and point out that that push, what we see happening is the Jalen Hurts getting in behind the center. They first the low center and gravity. He gets behind the center, but I couldn't find the angle clear enough to show it. But they're actually Hurts was carried. He was pushed and carried at the last play where they saw the tight end pull him across the goal line. He was pushed and carried a yard or two. That's what we saw on Sunday night against the Dolphins, where that play, that carry is illegal. I just showed you the rules in the rule book. The carrying part is illegal. The pushing behind, if you can carry the man, you shouldn't be able to push the man because he's essentially carrying. Randall's essentially carrying him on his back as he scoots across and being pushed for yardage. He's being carried on his back. Kelsey, he's being carried across Kelsey's back as he's being pushed across. That makes the play illegal. Do that make sense, Cleveland? Do you understand what the point I'm making?
Not really. Sounds like a lot of sour grapes, man. He's just got really strong calves, really strong thighs, and he just
see. This is what I'm saying. This is what you're not understanding.
And every once in a while, he pushes, and there's nobody around, so the offensive, lineman grabs him and falls into the end zone. Man, come on, man, quit crying.
This is what I'm saying.
Man, quit crying.
You're saying everyone, he squats 600 pounds. He got strong calves. He's on. Well, I had the Eagles winning that game. As you see, they completely manhandled the Dolphins. The Dolphins were in the game until Tyreek Hill, which we don't see that very often. Tyreek Hill dropped a touchdown pass. We don't see that very often. He catches that touchdown pass that can very well change the complexity of the game. So Cleveland at 5-2, are the Dolphins overrated or are they properly rated? How do you feel with the Dolphins being 5-2?
Oh man, properly rated, man. Some tough losses there. You got some pretty formidable teams. So yeah, I mean, I'll give them those. They tried.
How much would Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, Howard is our best corner. Jalen Ramsey, we haven't seen quite what he is yet. We don't know if he is who he used to be. We don't know what that's going to look like, but he's better than a lot of corners in the league. We know that. So getting one of our best cornerback and then a very good cornerback on our team, how do you think that would change the complex of what happened on Sunday night, where Jalen Hurts threw a couple deep bombs to Smith and Brown, who's caught 125 yards for 5 of the last for 5 consecutive games, which is an impressive stat. Certainly if we have Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, we're able to combat that a little bit better. How do you see that impacting our squad?
Well, Cam, I'm gonna break it down to you in plain English here, okay? Now, I always talk about Saleh when the play is over. He goes over and talks to his who? What part of the team does he go over and talk to? I'll answer the question for you, Cam. He goes over and he talks to his defense. When McDaniels is going over to the sideline, he's going over and talking to his offense. If you guys can hold those guys to like 22, 23, we're going to win the game. Most of the time. He's not really concerned with what those defensive guys can do. He's really more concerned with this high-powered, up-tempo offense. That is his focal point. That is his focus. So you can bring whoever you want back to the defense side. Man, can you hold them to 20 or less? Cool. Because if you can, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, I think we could use Hurlin, Ramsey, and definitely Howard.
You sure can, and that'll be great if you'd hold him.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that's definitely going to slow down.
But that's not really what the head coach's focus is. It's on the offense.
Well, that's fine, but he needs to focus on getting us finding some better linemen, getting that continuity.
Those guys need to do what they're supposed to do because that's not his concern.
We need to be able to block some. We need to be able to block some of these studs. That we're going up against. Like later on, when we see the Chiefs in a couple of weeks, when we see the Ravens down the line, we need to be able to block some of these dudes.
Okay.
So Swifty, the Chargers versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs, just did what they're supposed to do. They just did what they're supposed to do against the Chargers. Your thoughts on Swifty? How does this impact the team? Do you think this is added motivation for Kelsey, or do you think it's added motivation for the Chiefs in general? What's your thoughts on it?
Wow. Imagine that a team in the Midwest with a potential Hall of Fame tight end all of a sudden starts dating the biggest pop star on the planet. That usually happens when you play in LA or Chicago or New York.
Not a big deal.
It's just huge. The numbers don't lie. I mean, the spike in viewers, the spike in interaction on social media is exponential, man. It's hilarious.
But does it impact the Chiefs on the field, in the locker room? You don't think there's no impact? There's no inspiration. There's no inspired ball there. So Brittany Mahomes and Spears, or not Spears, Swifty in the press box doing their little 7-up dance after a touchdown. That doesn't. There's no inspiration. The players aren't gaining no inspiration behind that. Is what you're saying?
No.
So I think this is. And here's where I disagree with you. I think unlike a team in New York or Los Angeles, who's, there's probably been some superstar wives or girlfriends on the team already. Unlike in Seattle, where Sierra joins the team and, she has Russell, the quarterback, gets his own office in the locker room. Taylor Swift adds a little inspiration in the sense that there's more eyeballs on the team, and it breathes a breath of fresh life into this team. So not only they've been a good football team already, they've been a championship caliber team already, right? So to continue
A
this
championship caliber team. No, they've won the Super Bowl 2 times already, homie.
Yeah,
it's not like caliber.
Yeah, okay. The defending champion.
The
defending champion. Yeah, the defending champion. To add to the motivation,
man,
now they have Swifty on the bandwagon on the board.
I'm so sorry that you went down this path like you did.
I'm telling you, to add.
It's kind of embarrassing. The defending Super Bowl champions get more motivation because Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce?
Absolutely. She brings just added motivation.
Would definitely win the Super Bowl because Kim Kardashian is dating Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, no.
For real.
I'm saying
that's just way over the top.
No. Again, a team that has already won,
defending Super Bowl champions.
Yes, a defending Super Bowl champion,
NFL MVP on it
with the reigning NFL MVP
is more motivated to win a Super Bowl because of Taylor Swift.
This brings more eyeballs, more publicity to the situation.
Yeah, because they're in Kansas City.
Which brings added excitement, added joy, added vigor, and just a little bit more to the situation. Not say it just brings a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. It's just a little bit more. Whatever that little bit more is, it's bringing that more.
More viewers.
Yeah.
More eyeballs. That's great.
Eyeballs. More females watching the game, yes.
NFL was not expecting like where can we even possibly get bigger or better at any position? And if the greatest pop star on the planet
outside
one of the NFL players, well, that's great.
In LA and New York, it's a non-issue. Atlanta might be a non-issue.
Nope.
In Kansas City, I think in Kansas
City,
totally
wrong. But it has nothing to do with the team, man.
Oh, well, we'll see as it goes. But like I say, LA and New York, it's a complete non-issue. Miami, it's a non-issue. Atlanta is more than likely a non-issue. In Kansas City,
it would be an issue anywhere that this happened.
No, because there's wives and girlfriends coming into the locker room already in Los Angeles and New York. There's pop stars going to the game in New York City to watch them.
But they're not 12-time Grammy winners, Taylor Swift level of the game.
Yeah, but again, there's scrubby wives or girlfriends going to watch the scrubby New York Jets and Giants.
But there's no scrubs that you're referring to. Anyways. Well, I'm sorry. What was the next subject that you were talking about? Because you're way off the mark on this one.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the Staley. I told you weeks ago while I was off the Staley bandwagon. He explained he's just the coach. You were right. You were right, Cleveland. I will say this loudly and proudly, Cleveland. You were right. The only culture Staley has brought to the Chargers is failing. He stinks. There was the fourth quarter, the going forward on a fourth down that he was doing early in his career as a coach with the Chargers. I was 100% behind him. Go for it. You should go for it more. More coaches should go for it on fourth down. Cleveland, when they're down 7, I think, with 6 minutes to go. That didn't make sense. But I'm gonna back up a little further. Midway through the third quarter, it's the Chiefs are driving. They get a penalty that push them back. Offsides penalty, push them back to third and 15. They're like on their in the 30, 35 or something like that. It's 3rd and 13. The Chargers rush forward, Cleveland, and put the rest of their defense. They rush forward, put 7 guys at 13-yard mark. No linebackers. They rush 4 and put their 7 DBs at the 13-yard mark, just ahead of the sticks. Cleveland. The Chiefs had 5 wide. They send them all deep. Just go deep. And so the defensive backs all turn and run with the receivers. Mahomes could have walked for the first down. He literally could have walked for the first down. He just jaunts. Oh, Humpty Dumpty Dum for the first down. It was the easiest first down I think he had got in his career. And then so they go down and score. Again, the Chargers have the ball, 4th and goal or 4th and 1 inside on the Chiefs side of the field. They're probably at the Chiefs 45 because when they punted, it was a touchback. So the Chiefs end up getting the ball on 20. So they lost 20 yards. I mean, they gained 20 yards because they punted. The Chiefs get the ball right at the 20-yard line. So you would only lost the 20 yards had you gone for it and not get it. 4th down, you haven't stopped these guys anyway. You're not going to have, you're down 7. You haven't stopped these guys. If they get the ball and put up a field goal, they get up to, you're down 10, 2 scores. They put up a touchdown, you're down 2 touchdowns. You hadn't stopped them. Go for the first down. It's in 6 minutes to go. What makes you think that you're going to stop these guys and get the ball right back? I can't go Cleveland back to before the half where the Chargers have all their timeouts. The Chiefs are driving, and the Chiefs aren't in a hurry. They get the ball at the Chargers 45. They're not in a hurry to put points on the board. They're running the ball, and the Chargers aren't calling timeout. Like, that's when you call a timeout to stop the clock. Maybe you could stop them, then get the ball back, and you can try to drive down the score because it's over 2 minutes to go. Call a timeout. But no, the Chiefs run the ball, get 1 yard. The clock just keeps running. Humpty Dum Staley over there. I don't know what the heck he's thinking about. I'm like, Coach, timeout. Coach, timeout. Let's try to stop these guys, get the ball so we can have time on the clock. Before the half, we can try to get a score in before the half. No, they didn't call. They took their timeouts to the locker room, didn't call a timeout. The Chiefs didn't bother to stop the clock. I don't recall. I don't think they bothered to stop the clock. I think after 2 minutes, they just ran the clock out because they weren't not in position to score. The Chiefs weren't. They let the clock run out. So that was bad, poor clock management at the half. Third quarter, the 3rd and 15. They lined up they're playing prevent defense. The Chargers run for Mahomes run for the first down. They didn't then late in the game, they didn't call he didn't go for it on 4th. He ends up punting. It was again net 22-yard loss because they end up getting the ball at the 20, and then they drive down the score. So it goes up 2 scores. Now the game's over. Like, dude, what are you? I don't understand. Like, the Los Angeles Chargers are a laughing stock, and Eric said it. I need to play. I need to go find that clip where Eric said it. Cam, it's the Chargers. I'm saying the Chargers are going to make the playoffs. He's like, Cam, something's going to go wrong. It's the Chargers. I need to go find that. And I'm going to post that back up because it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Embarrassing. He's doing an embarrassing coaching job, and they're not going to make because the owners are kind of cash strapped. They're not going to make a change midway through the season, because they're cash strapped. Because they would have to pay. I don't know what he signed, what state he signed for. I think it's a 4 or 5 year contract. They'd have to pay his salary, the length of his contract. So if anything, they do a buyout at the end of the season. So the kind of Chargers are stuck with this putrid coaching staff. I haven't seen Staley threw Lombardi under the bus and brought in Kellen Moore. I mean, the numbers may say something different, but I haven't seen a huge a huge improvement on this coaching staff. I haven't seen a huge improvement on this from this team here because they're just not getting it done. They still can't run the ball. That's a huge problem, not being able to run the ball. At least they have Mike Williams went down. At least they have Joshua Palmer to fill in for Mike Williams. They got the young boy from TCU who, he had drops in college. I mean, he hasn't seen he's seen the field. He hasn't caught many receptions since then. So, regardless of who's on that defensive side of the ball, if you say defense has talent, Derwin James obviously is one of the better safeties in the league. Kenneth Brown, so now I question Kenneth Brown as they haven't been not Kenneth Brown, Kenneth Murray, dude from Oklahoma. Kenneth Murray is a fucking Adonis, 6'4", runs a 4.3, 245 pounds, just a freaking Adonis out there. And they're trying to say that he couldn't follow along. He couldn't see the ball was in his rookie career or his rookie season. He couldn't see the ball to follow the ball to be in the right position. I don't know now. I don't know if it's Murray or the coach. Well, I don't know what it is. Are they not putting him in the right situations? Like a dude like that, a big dude like that, seek the quarterback. Go get it. Go get the ball carrier, period. You can't see the ball carrier? He's been doing that for his all the college career, all the high school career. Go get the ball carrier, period. Don't try to put him in no scheme. If the tight end lines up 2 yards off the ball on this side in this play, there's 7 minutes on the clock, and the wide receiver, they got two aces over here. You drop back and you got the running back, or you got the wide receiver on the inside slant. Don't give him none of that. You go get the quarterback. You go get the ball carrier. Just simplify this for the guy. If the players aren't understanding the concept, you got to change the concept because it's going to make you look bad. It's going to make you look bad as a teacher, as a coach. If the players aren't getting your scheme, you have to change your scheme. Number one job of coaching, Cleveland, is put the players in position to be successful. I don't think Brandon Staley's doing that. Enough on Brandon Staley. No, I wasted too much time on Brandon Staley. I had them in the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. So I don't know. You got anything to add?
Nah, man. I think you did a great job of illustrating the problems within the Chargers organization.
The one thing I ask you, and again, I think it might be coaching. Is Herbert regressing? Is Herbert regressing? And again, I don't want to say Herbert regressing. It's just saying he's not thriving in fourth quarters. Is that coaching? I think that might be coaching. You got anything to add there?
Well, first of all, he's a little bit injured this season. I know that quite a bit of his time has been taken with, Subway commercials, whatnot, what have you. So endorsements, he's become, quite a bit more popular. Perhaps getting the $250 million contract was a little bit overwhelming for him. He's had a little bit of, adjustment period. But at the same time, they need to put him in a position to succeed, which is what Kellen Moore was supposedly brought over to do.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
They can't run the ball. I mean, if you can't run the ball in football, I mean, that's a huge problem. I don't know what it is, why they can't run the ball. I don't know what I can't explain that. I don't have the answer to why they can't run the ball, but they can't run the ball. Cleveland. The Colts lost to the Browns in a semi-classic. I don't know if you saw highlights to this game. I don't know. I mean, this game was on one of the big screens where I was watching football. Two things stuck out to me in this game. I should have texted you why this game, but I don't think you were watching the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. It's not a game that I was would have thought I'd be watching, but it ended up being a pretty good game. Cleveland, 305 yards passing, 2 TDs, 119 QBR. Who was that, Cleveland?
That was PJ Walker.
No. That's Gardner Minshew. What school he go to?
PJ Walker didn't do that because Cleveland won the game, right?
Yeah.
Who won the game? Who won the game?
No, it wasn't Walker who won the game. I tell you,
So Cleveland didn't win the game.
Oh, you don't want to answer. Myles Garrett won that game. Myles Garrett played one of the most special games I've seen in a long time. Myles Garrett is definitely the defensive player of the year without question. 7 tackles, 2 assisted tackles.
He's definitely the defensive player of the year without question after week 7.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we got to grade it from where we are now.
With 11 more weeks to go. Yeah, come on, man.
He has Cleveland. He has Cleveland being relevant. He has Cleveland being relevant. Cleveland. What did they do last? What did Cleveland do last week, Cleveland? What did they do last week?
It's not even the halfway mark of the season.
Cleveland, answer the question. What did they do last week? The Browns. What did they do last week? You don't want to answer that question. I'll answer that question for you. Cleveland, they beat up the San Francisco 49ers, who was at the time undefeated.
Weeks left in the season.
Undefeated.
He is already anointing someone some award. He's a very dominant defensive lineman. He's had some really good games to this point. And yeah, he was the reason that they won that game against the Indianapolis Colts without Anthony Richardson at quarterback and Gardner Minshew from wherever he's from playing the position. Certainly not adequately enough to win the game. So yeah, I give you that.
He had
you're already anointing him and crowning him. No.
Who did they beat? Who did they beat last week, Cleveland? So you forgot who they beat last week?
We did the San Francisco 49ers last week.
Who did they beat in week 1 of the season?
Week 1 of the season. We're in week 8, Cam. I know. I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't want to count. You don't want to give him credit for anything he's done this season. I'm just asking you some standard questions.
I don't remember who they beat week 1, Cam. Please enlighten me. Who they beat week 1?
They beat the Cincinnati Bengals, the division favorites. Okay.
With Joe Burrow not able to plan off of his cap.
You show up.
Why'd you bring that up? Man, come on now.
Dude, listen. Cleveland.
Like that's the thing.
It's
too early to say defensive player of the year. He is having a really good season though so far.
Who would you give the defense? Who's playing a better? Who's doing a better job?
I can't really anticipate who's going to be the defensive player of the year right now.
I understand.
Because there's so many more games left to play.
I understand. But when you get a block PAT, you get 2 sacks, you get 2 forced fumbles, 1 for recovered for a touchdown, and then 1 pass deflection. I mean,
you had a really good game.
This type of thing, if you have
had a really good game, you sure did.
You have to get a man credit.
You get the game ball.
You get the game ball. You're funny, but yes, it was Indianapolis Colts with their backup quarterback. Yes, it was. But I contend that Minshew is a better quarterback today than Richardson would have been if he's in the game.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, you can't argue 305 yards pass and 2 TDs. I'm sorry?
How quickly they turn.
How quickly they turn?
You were quite the Anthony Richardson fan a few weeks ago.
No, not really. No, I thought there were some things that he did that was impressive, but when you have 119.4 QBR, that says you're playing good football right there. The Myles Garrett in that defense was just a little bit better. So do you want to if you want to look at who you're playing, I mean, do you give Geno Smith any credit for doing what they did against the Cardinals?
No. Did what he was supposed to do. I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the NFC because they beat the Cardinals 20-10.
Nor did he play like that either. But I mean, welcome to the NFL, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Welcome to the NFL. Jackson Smith finally finds the end zone. But I think again, as we touched on earlier, Witherspoon showed some great play on the defense. Again, regardless of who you're playing against, if you got to show up and do it on the field, and he showed that he can play that cornerback position, making some game-changing plays. So I credit them. And also, you got to give Pete and John some credit for not only their draft picks, but then coming to their senses and deciding to bring back Frank Clark. What's your thoughts on Frank Clark, who they should have never let out the door?
Well, the reason they brought back Frank Clark is because Nwosu got hurt. So yeah, that is a very logical plug-in for that loss.
Somebody who's been there before.
Sure. And it's seen how Bobby Wagner left and came back. It's seen how Jaron Reed left and came back, and how happy they are, and wonder why they ever left this place. The 206, man. The crisp, clean air, the fresh seafood, everybody's friendly and nice. Yeah. They've been some other places, not that nice. They've been around some other coaches, not that nice.
Yeah,
some
definitely.
Other cultures, not that nice.
The air is very crisp and clean. The seafood, the seafood is untouchable. And there might be something else in the air up there that keeps people coming back.
Yeah,
there might be something else in the air that has people wanting to go up into the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Bill gets 300. Bill gets 300 and surprised a lot of you guys and shut a lot of you guys up. Actually, Bill gets his 300. What do you think about that? Against your vaunted Josh Allen.
No, not my vaunted Josh Allen. I told you at the end of last year, them guys are dead forever. This is not a thing. The Bills Mafia after last year. Oh man, no. And now they're hurt. They're all beat up on defense. Like no.
Didn't we just go through the rankings and you have Tua Tagovailoa behind Josh Allen?
Yeah. He's not a better quarterback than Josh Allen, but that doesn't mean that Bills are better than the Dolphins. It's just the position.
Okay, so you don't give Bill no credit for getting 300 against the Bills, the division rival.
Yeah,
Bill gets no credit.
I mean, if Brewski and them guys are going to turn on him, man, I mean, who am I to say?
Wow. Gee whiz. You're pretty cold, man.
I'm as cold as Bill Belichick in the winter.
What do you think about this? Is kind of odd stat in 2023. Tyrod Taylor becomes the first black quarterback to win a game for the Giants. Now they paid Daniel Jones all that money. Is there a QB controversy in New York?
No.
That was an odd stat, you have to admit. That's pretty odd.
Not that odd. How odd is that? They've never had a black quarterback until now.
I mean, it's just odd. It's 2023. If you told me that in 1990, okay. But we're 30 years past that.
I'm sure there are other franchises that have never had a black quarterback.
Denver Broncos.
I can't name them all off the top of my head right this very second.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Have the Seattle Seahawks had a black quarterback? Had the Seahawks had a black quarterback?
Or
Geno Smith?
I'm sorry, they've had three.
Geno Smith, Seneca Wallace.
They've had four. So sorry, they've had four.
Who?
Warren Moon, Seneca Wallace.
Okay, Warren Moon. Yeah.
Russell Wilson. Geno Smith. Yeah, they've had a few.
Okay. I'm just trying to throw out some things like.
I mean, how many of the Detroit Lions had?
Did Vince Evans play for the Lions? I know he played for the Raiders and the Bears. I don't know.
Wow, did you say Vince Evans?
Man, I'm just trying to think. black quarterbacks who might have played for the Lions. I know he played for the Bears. I know he played for the Raiders. But I mean, I can't think. Oh no, Andre Ware. Andre Ware got drafted to the Lions, number 1, didn't he? And he didn't play long, but he
True that. Good pick. Good look.
he did. I mean,
that's true.
And just to throw it out again, this is something I'd like to research.
Tyrod Taylor played for the Bills, so you got leave that one. Gino played for the Jets, so yeah. I mean, it's an interesting exercise.
I mean, it's just just something to think about. I'm just saying the thing again in 2023. It's crazy to say that, but you're right. I mean, how many have they had? How many have the black quarterback play for the Giants? The Bears put up 30 points against the Raiders with a D2 quarterback. Is this an indictment on Fields? When your guy goes 21 for 29? They put up 30? When's the last time they put up 30 when he didn't run for 200 yards?
I mean, 200 is
I mean, when he ran for 200 against the Dolphins. He threw for 200, ran for 200 on the Dolphins last season.
It's not an indictment on Justin Fields. It is a credit to that person being terribly prepared and, picking apart a somewhat inept, defense. But,
that might be that's an indictment on, oh boy. Because off the top of my head, I don't remember the Bears being a high-powered offense. And again, except for a couple huge games that he had last season, I know obviously he did it against my Dolphins, but they haven't had a lot of 30-point games, man. They haven't had a lot of 30-point games to speak of. So, let me see. Yeah, they haven't had a lot of 30-point games. They scored 30 twice this year. Twice. The Bears have. Let me see last year. At 3 and 14. So I mean they didn't have many, right? 30-point games last year. They had one 30-point game last year. Was that against my dog? No, that was against Detroit. They had one 30-point game. I mean, again, they haven't had a lot of 30-point games, man. 30, that's a lot of points in the NFL. And I didn't watch the game, so I can't really say how the offense looked, but he was 75% passing or 70% passing accuracy. Like, that's what you want. I know Fields hasn't been 70%. He might have been 70% those the same amount of games he had 30 they scored 30 points. So I don't know. I don't know what you think. I don't know what you think about that one. The Falcons, man, there's some bad coaching this season, boy. There's some terrible coaching going on this season. Are you following the Falcons and their ineptness?
Yeah, but they came out victorious in that one, though, right?
They won in spite of poor coaching, dude. Instead of poor coaching, I mean, they field goal in the last minute. But it's been, oh my goodness, they're coaching, and because the Falcons are the local team here. I'm watching the game with some Falcon fans, and their ineptness is just it's grimy. It's grimy. So I'm gonna show you this here, and you tell me if you got this. Can you see this?
Not yet.
You can't see nothing. Let me see this. No, you can see it, right?
I got Packers Broncos.
Yeah, here was the hit. Was that ejection worthy? I don't know that this is injection worthy. He didn't hit him with his head. He got shoulder under the chin. Where's the ejection?
Yeah, he hit him with the head, Cam.
His head is to the right.
Helmet to helmet.
Helmet to shoulder. The crown of his shoulder. The crown of his head.
I know. You and Rodney Harrison don't understand.
The crown of his head.
Boom.
He got shoulder under the chin. Crown of his head was on dude's shoulder. Look.
That's where he's aiming. And then he gets him in the head.
So you don't see shoulder? You don't see the impact on the shoulder? You don't
I see a lot of shoulder, but some helmet. Some helmet as well.
I mean, he went for the shoulder. I don't see that.
He went for the shoulder, but he got some head as well.
Ejection worthy?
4-game suspension.
Did he get a 4-game?
He did. He appealed it. It's going down, but it was initially a 4-game. Yeah.
Even worse. Come on. Oh my goodness. I disagree with that one completely. But you see how we can see. I mean, we can look at the same video and see different things, right?
For sure.
I mean, that's par for the course. I didn't think that was an ejectionable offense. But okay, let me pull this up. Excuse me. Let's pull up our picks, Cleveland, so we can look at their picks and see how we did this week. I know you want to speed through this segment, I'm sure. But we got to give it to the people, man. Looking at this week, Cleveland. This is a tough week, man, for us both. I was under 50%, which is horrible for me, Cleveland. This is par for the course. Where you at? 30%? I mean, this is typical. This is when mid-season where I pull.
And fans, let me just say, because I've done the research.
Oh boy! You got your forensic accountants on this one.
10 of the 13 favorites lost this week.
So you getting 4? You picking 4 out of 10 is because of what now?
I mean, let's look at some of these games as we go through it. San Francisco didn't beat the Vikings. Okay.
Yeah. The Miami and Philly?
The Buffalo Bills didn't beat the New England Patriots. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tampa Bay lost to the Falcons. Detroit lost.
The Green Bay Packers didn't beat the 1-5 Broncos. Okay.
I mean, man, another talk. I mean, that game. Love, gee whiz, Jordan Love looks terrible.
I mean, damn, the 1-5 Giants won a game. I mean, damn, the Chicago Bears, like you just mentioned, obliterated the Las Vegas Raiders, a team with Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs on them, and a backup quarterback. Man, I can't be calling all these kind of weird, wild things. I'm not that clairvoyant, Cam. And we even get to how much you don't like the Pittsburgh Steelers and what they did.
I mean, yeah, I don't know how they.
I know. You know how the hell that happened, huh?
The Rams.
Yeah, you sure don't.
The Rams. They got a gift call on the fourth on the.
Okay, well, at any rate, like I said, 10 of the 13 favorites are not winning that week. So
neither one of us. This might be
get myself up so much about it, Cam.
This might be the first week that neither one of us got the pick point for picks against the spread. Neither one of us did. So it was a terrible week. Even for our confidence picks here. Geez, I got 2 out of 5. Yeah, 2 out of 5. How many of you guys the same 2 out of 5? And it just happened to be the same teams.
Different order.
Just happened to be the same teams, but
same teams that win, yeah. Just in
I'll
different orders.
I'll take
a little more confidence in the Hawks than I did. Okay, yeah.
Um, the Eagles obviously my game of the week. The Ravens that was over quarter, and the Chiefs and Chargers ridiculous, stupid. The Bucks versus the Bills. We both got the Bucks. What game? What do we have? Different. I got the Jaguars over the Steelers. Look at that. That's consistency, right? Minnesota over the Packers. I got the Giants. I'm going with Tyrod over the Jets. I'm going with Tyrod to get another W. I'm going with Gardner Minshew. I'm going to Gardner Minshew. That's probably the reason you're not taking the. You're going against the Colts because they got starting Gardner Minshew. I got Cleveland now. You talking all that crap about Myles Garrett. I want to see what you have to say about Myles Garrett next week. I want to know if you got anything to say about Myles Garrett next week because you talking big stuff about him this week. I want to know what you got to say about Myles next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah,
get to that bottom game though.
You're gonna get a. You're gonna
miss that bottom game.
What game is that? We're getting there. Baltimore. We both got KC. Baltimore. The Chargers over the Bears. I mean the Bears. If the Chargers don't beat the Bears, man, there's gonna be a mutiny. The Falcons. I'm not really high on the Falcons, but you're trading for your boy Derrick Henry. Detroit. We both got Detroit, and I got the. Yeah, I got the Niners, man. The Niners. I don't see the Niners a legitimate Super Bowl contender when losing 3 in a row. That's kind of. I like Joe Burrow. I like they're on a bye week. They're coming back healthy. I like all that. All that sounds good, but I don't see the Niners at home losing 3 in a row. So I'm going with the Niners. Okay. What you just the Bengals on a bye? That's why you got. It's the East Coast team going west. It doesn't that fly a couple.
Joe Burrow's healthy. Joe Burrow's healthy. Joe Burrow's healthy.
He playing against the
Brock Purdy does not have Deebo Samuel out there right now.
You keep going with Deebo Samuel. What about?
How the Minnesota Vikings beat him up?
What about Warner and
how the Cleveland Browns just hang around?
You would not give dude any credit whatsoever, will you?
He's lost 2 consecutive regular season
just like
games.
The AP poll.
He went 197 games without losing a regular season game, and now he's lost 2.
Just like the AP poll. You just as erratic as a poll, huh?
Not erratic, man. I never liked that dude. You guys tried to convince me that was the dude. I kept saying, like, no, I don't really feel it, but like
so I never liked
him.
So the truth comes out. He never liked him.
I never liked Purdy. I told you that already.
Peer pressure. That was peer pressure?
Peer pressure.
Okay.
14, 15, 16 regular season games. Okay.
So why don't you have San Francisco in your confidence pick? Why don't you have the Bengals in your confidence picks in? Since you're so confident,
because I have these other 5 teams, and as it looks, this is kind of crazy. The exact same teams you have, just in different order.
That is kind of wild, isn't it? I didn't even see that. That is kind of wild. I paid no attention. So there's our confidence picks, man. That's a confidence pick for the NFL for this week, fans. Games of the week. I didn't get my games of the week. So my games of the week this week are. Let me tell you real quick. I'm gonna go. I say the Vikings and the Packers if Jordan Love show any.
Oh man, come on with it, Cam. Cut that out.
No, it's gonna be the Bengals and the Niners. That's the number 1 game of the week. Dolphins and Patriots. I don't even. That should be easy walk in the park right there. I'm gonna go Jags and Steelers right there. Jags and Steelers, Bengals, Niners. That's my games of the week. What's your game of the week, Levon?
Those 2 as well, but let's not sleep on that Browns Seahawks game that you aforementioned. That's gonna be crazy.
You're right. That is
which way it's gonna go.
That is. I got Cleveland. I mean, I got Cleveland winning that game. Again, another East Coast team going west.
I see
another East Coast team going west. Again, I like Geno. There's nothing. I don't have anything bad to say about the Seahawks. I really don't. But I think that defense that Cleveland is playing with, that defense is on a roll right now. Again, smacking up.
Yeah, no, you already said Myles Garrett is already the defensive player of the year. So yeah.
Well, you tell me. Well, you see what happens on Sunday, and you tell me if you want to bestow him that award yet or not. You let me know.
Mm-hmm.
You let me know. So Cleveland, let's talk about the NBA. Giannis signs a 3-year deal, 186, 62 per, just like your guy AD. Who's going to get more into that contract? Their contract, the Lakers or Milwaukee Bucks?
Oh, the Milwaukee Bucks will get more out of their contract.
I agree with you there. So I'm assuming you watched your Lakers in the against the Nuggets last night.
I did.
What's your initial thoughts on the Lakers? You like the Christian Woods is a dude. Christian Woods, I liked him. I don't know why teams got rid of him. He was in Detroit and then he went to Houston, right?
And then Dallas, correct? Yeah, no, I was mildly impressed with his efforts. Prince, he was a little bit more than advertised. Disappointed in Anthony Davis not scoring any points in the second half.
But okay, so Cleveland, that is I didn't watch the game as intently as maybe I should, but I didn't notice he was scoreless in the second half. Like watching the game, did you notice that?
Yeah, I mean he was active and stuff. That's great, but the lead it never really coincided with that.
Yeah, I had class last night. That's why it was on, so I couldn't watch it. But I didn't. Yeah, yeah, that's why I was in class. I couldn't watch the game. So I was able to watch the Warriors against the Suns, like I was saying earlier. Like I was really enjoying Sunday nights here in the Central, or Sunday in the Central Time zone.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Because the games come on at noon.
11:30ish.
I mean, the
third quarter. I'm not gonna make it through this whole game.
Like, man, I'm like, okay, all right, I can hang through. It's only gonna be a half hour longer. Man, it's to watch the NBA out here when you're not on the West Coast, man. It's a tough game. It's a tough deal. But yeah, I ended up watching the Suns and the Warriors. The Warriors look better than I anticipated. Although Draymond wasn't there, it was I figured Chris Paul can play that third guard. I brought that up. I mentioned it a few different times. I figured Chris Paul can play that third guard position. The Warriors are used to having that third guard. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry are used to have another ball handler on the field on the court with them. It'll look different without Draymond. It'll look different, with Draymond. But the Warriors are used to having that, so I figured that would look. I figured he can play that role. I'm disappointed that Bill didn't play. Like I just back spasms, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean he's already bringing his injury-prone self to the desert. It's like,
come on, man.
Way warmer. They have a way better.
You got the best medical staff around, and I mean back spasms is the reason you're not playing.
If they can't get you going, then man.
So I mean, I want to see what that looks like. I like to see what that trio looks like. But Booker, I want to say they're asking Booker to do too much by being the point guard and the playmaker on the squad. But I said that last year going into the playoffs, and he's able to do that. He's showing that he's able to do that, to score and be the playmaker. I'd much rather have him just being a scorer, but if he got to do both, he's showing that he can do both. I mean, that if he's can keep that up throughout the season, I mean, that's the impressive thing. Late in that game, they were doubling Booker and single covering Kevin Durant, which I thought was kind of interesting because they know Kevin Durant, right? And so if they feel that they can single Kevin Durant, that might have sent I don't know how copycat the league-ish or copycatish the NBA is versus the NFL, but who else is going to be single covering Kevin Durant late in the game? And will they get burned by that? Or is that who's he become? Let's push him around, and if you put a body on him, you don't have to double team him. I found that was interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you don't want to continue to do that, man. It's not a copycat league like the NFL. Like, this person just simply can't do that. You have to have the personnel to do it, and it was an experiment. I don't think it's going to. I think over time it will prove to be a failed experiment, and that's not something you should really be doing a lot. But first game of the season, throw some things out there and see how it works.
Yeah, see how it works. I'm not mad at that. Tonight is Wemby's debut with the Spurs. Right now, it's a 2-point game. Actually, 14 seconds left in the third quarter. It's a 2-point game. The Mavericks are up by 2 points, 93-91. Again, somebody just hit a I don't even know who that was. They hit a 3 off the glass like that. He shot a 3, it went off the glass and it went in. So give the Mavericks, who was that, Green? Give the Magic a 5-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Wemby, I don't know what his stats are. I don't know what your let me see what his stats are for tonight. Did he go over or under this? Because that's what I had in Wembanyama. 15 minutes, 6 points, 2 for 4 tonight. So he's going under that. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks, 4 turnovers.
15 minutes. Is that what you said?
15 minutes, yeah. 15 minutes. Yeah, every time I look over at the TV, he's on a bench. So yeah, 15 minutes. So yeah, he ain't got. I mean, yeah, 15 minutes. They ain't. Papa's introducing him slowly. You don't like that move, huh? You don't think Papa's treating them fairly or what? What's the deal? Go ahead, let it out. Pop's my guy now. Don't take it easy.
I know, man. Come on, these are kitty gloves, man.
Right. He's new to the. He's fresh over.
Kitty gloves.
He just got off the plane a month ago.
There's kitty gloves and there's kitty gloves.
He just got off the plane a month ago. The dude's 18 years old. Cut it out. What do you think? You think he's LeBron? You see how he's built.
He is already one of the top 5 players in this league, man. Have you seen Vic play?
Have you seen how he's built, though? You see dog doing the split. You saw dude standing up, bending over, and putting his head.
What I saw was that once the rest of the team understands that he needs to have the ball all the time, even when he passes it to you, that just means pass it right back. Who is stopping the pick and roll with Victor Wembanyama, man? Who's rolling with him?
Yeah. I mean, they gotta get.
Who's stopping the fade from 18 feet? I mean, when the triple team comes to him and he passes to you, that doesn't mean you shoot it. That means pass it right back to him once he no longer has a triple team. Once they understand, like, he always has to have the ball.
Pop's spoon feeding them into the leagues. Pop spoon feeding them. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the Knicks? The Knicks lost to Boston earlier. Did you see any of that game?
Saw none of it to be expected in the first game. Yeah, but not as good.
I mean, it was a close game. It was only a 4-point game. It was only a 4 game. They just showed it was only a 4 game. The Hornets beat the Hawks. I think the Hawks is going to be disappointing this year. The Pistons lost to the Heat by 1 point. The Cavaliers beat the Nets by 1 point. Timberwolves lost to the Raptors. Thunder beat the Bulls by 20. The Grizzlies lost to the Pelicans. The Kings put up 30. Or excuse me, put up 130 on your Utah Jazz. Let me see. Did your boy play tonight? Did your boy Zion 31 minutes, 23 points? What did he do? 23, 7 and 3. So Zion,
wow, he had 31 minutes in. That's good for him.
Yeah. Listen to you. They beat the Grizzlies. By
the
10.
Grizzlies without John Morant. Okay, cool.
I mean, so
what Desmond Bain do?
Glass 31.
Woo!
31. 31, 5 rebounds, 5
What?
assists, 2 turnovers.
What about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Well, that's a different story. 8 points, 2 for 9.
And Steven Adams, what he do?
Steven Adams is done for the year. You know that. Why are you rubbing it in?
I did not know that.
Why are you rubbing it in? You knew that. You knew
What?
that.
What happened to Steve?
You know who didn't play though? Brandon Clark didn't play tonight. His knee, meniscus. He had knee surgery.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Marcus Smart, 17 points.
At 11 for 27 shooting.
You're cold, 6 for 11, dog.
6 for 11. Okay.
Leave my man alone, man. Leave my man alone. 5 turnovers tonight, so he brought the turnovers with him.
Mm-hmm.
What did D Rose do? 8. D Rose was 3 for 11 in his 15 minutes of play.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, so Desmond Bain played 35 minutes. Marcus Smart played 32 minutes. Tillman played 33 minutes. Zaire Williams played 29 minutes, and Jackson played 35 minutes. Yeah, so they're gonna be struggling out the gate apparently. D Rose didn't have a good game. I was surprised by that. But yeah, 130 for your boy or for your guys. My guys. I'm gonna say my guys. Sacramento Kings. 130 for them.
Yeah, those are your guys.
Those are my guys. Yeah. So De'Aaron Fox 18 points. Tell me he had 9 assists. No, he only had 6 assists tonight. Malik Monk had 10 points. Where's my guy Sabonis? 22 points. So yeah, they're ready to go. They're ready to go tonight. So we have to revisit, keep an eye on those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Again, fans, my top storylines. I'm gonna run them down. I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I was admonished by Pavi and Cleavon. My top storylines coming into the NBA season was the Bucks versus the Celtic race, was the Suns' development, was the Clippers' health. Can Denver defend their title? Looks like Denver's going to defend. They're comfortable again.
I mean, after the first game of the season, it certainly looks that way.
Can't
Fortunately, there's 81 more games to go to kind of figure that out.
The Trailblazers growth, Warriors and Chris Paul mix. Like I was saying earlier, they played without Draymond, but Chris Paul was able to assimilate on that team. LeBron and AD's health. LeBron, do you agree with this under 30 minutes per game? You agree with that idea?
Absolutely.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, without him, they were minus 19. You still like that thinking, huh?
Love it. Love it.
That means your boy AD is gonna step up. Can AD step up and be that dude?
Not sure. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I mean, how long does it take you to recognize who he is? Can he be that dude or not?
It's not the playoffs yet, quite just yet. Let's see what happens. First and foremost, stay healthy. Don't fall on the ground too hard. Don't tie your shoes too tight, and don't open up the passenger side door, too abruptly. We don't need sprained wrists or anything like that. So stay healthy.
Big Vic's debut. That was one of my storylines. Houston's growth and OKC's growth. Will we get a full season out of Zion? James in the Sixers saga. And then, as Cleveland wanted to touch on, he was excited to talk about is the Memphis Grizzlies, their storyline as well. Cleveland, your top storylines, if I had them right, was the Bucks and the Celtics race, right? And Big Vic's debut and the James Harden saga, right? Did I have that correct?
Yeah, I mean, continuing on. I mean, I believe there were a few others.
I mean, that's all I have listed. Would you want to correct me? What else do you have in mind?
Well, I think it was first and foremost like where Damian Lillard was going to go, and then what the Lakers going to be able to do, in pursuit of that 18th championship. So,
do you think can the Lakers win a championship?
Quite possibly.
Well, I mean, the Kings can possibly win one.
No, they can't.
You don't think so?
No.
This is a tie ball game with 8:53, 100 to 100. The Suns and the Spurs and the Mavericks. Cleveland, okay. Let's speed through this segment here. This week in history, Cleveland. October 25th, 1940, Benjamin O. Davis became the first black general in the Army. October 24, 1964, Zambia gains independence from the United Kingdom. October 29, 1969, the Supreme Court ordered into all school desegregation at once. After going on for 60 years, they decide at once we're going to decide that this is over. The Supreme Court did. October 24, 2002, Cleveland. Where were you when John Allen Muhammad and his teenage son, Lee Boyd Malvo, was arrested in connection for the Washington area sniper attacks?
Can't remember exactly where I was, but that was a wild thing that they were doing.
I don't know who was agreeing that it was black snipers out there. That was a wild shot. 1964, December 25th. It was busy. This is a busy couple days in history. October 25th, 1964, Cleveland. Jim Marshall, former Minnesota Viking, picked up the San Francisco fumble and ran it the wrong way for 66 yards to his own team's end zone. Like, I mean, we all seen the video of that, right? That was one thing. Like, you do not do that. You do not go to the wrong way. Like, in basketball, it's not likely that you're going to shoot in the wrong basket.
No, funny. I actually played in a game, and this dude.
Oh wow!
Is one of the greatest Husky football players of all time. Sophomore year in hoop, stole the ball, ran the wrong direction, scored, and we lost by 2.
Wait, in basketball?
Yeah.
He scored the wrong goal in basketball?
The wrong hoop.
Oh my goodness.
We lost by 2.
Oh my goodness. That's worse than that. That's worse than Jim Marshall. At least you could say he kind of got spun around. But he literally, like, there was no in the scrum, pick it up and go. He literally picked it up and ran straight the wrong
Well,
direction.
he stole the inbound pass and just went the wrong way.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And we were like, no, but he was already in mid,
like yeah, in basketball, usually your player can get to him, or you can hear your players yelling at you. And Jim Marshall, he went 66 yards and he was sprinting like there was some players that won't be able to catch him. Right? That's crazy. Again, busy couple days here in this month. October 25th, 1978, Gaylord Perry became the first pitcher to win the Cy Young Award in both leagues when he won it for the National League. That's kind of impressive, right? Cy Young,
absolutely is.
December 25th or October 25th, excuse me, 2003, Bobby Bowden became the winningest coach in Major League or Major College Football history with 339. Wow. Is that somebody? Can somebody break that? Is that just untouchable? Because he did that. That's like 20 years of Florida State.
You would have to win 10 games for 30 years.
For 40 years, close to it, right?
I mean, 10 times 30 is 300. So
yeah. Cleveland, you want to talk about your Huskies, man? Are they? You want to talk about your Huskies? I noticed you was ignoring my text all week on. I was asking about Arizona State.
Oh, hey man, look, man, I was up north. I was in Canada visiting the family, so I didn't really, unfortunately, wasn't able to get those. But man, I actually haven't seen the game. They apparently just barely squeaked by, but they squeaked by.
Terrible play calling by the offensive.
Can't blame this offensive play calling scheme because they score a lot of points, and they will again.
Nah, dog. They against Arizona. It was what was it? How many points they scored? 20, 21? Nah, they didn't put up a lot of points on the board, and your guy looked kind of shaky. The Aces won the WNBA. We talked about that last week. The Aces won the WNBA championship. Go ahead and talk to us about the World Series, Cleveland. You had the Astros and the Dodgers, and it's the Texas Rangers for the first time, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, who haven't been in it for 35 years?
22
years. They haven't been in the World Series. Who you have?
The Texas Rangers.
Wemby had 5 fouls. That's why he's sitting down. He had 5 fouls. You got Texas Rangers winning this in 7 and 6.
6.
Yeah, so was that a Phillies collapse? I mean, everything was pointing to the Phillies, right?
No, they were right. They were riding all high. I mean, they were all full of themselves, man. But
full of themselves. Okay.
I mean, they were just playing a little bit over their heads, right? I mean, the pitching staff wasn't that dominant, and when those guys are hitting bombs, that's great. But when they're not, they're striking out, and they're not putting the ball in play. So. When Harper and Schwarber go 1 for 20 last, 2 games, and the other guy, Trey Turner, I mean, it's like, yeah.
So was it expected is what you're telling me now, what you're telling the fans.
I'm not 100% surprised that collapse happened, no.
Okay. Well, fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Voice of the Fans. I want to thank, give your man Cleveland a shout out for being a part of the show. Also, want to give Tyler credit for being a part of the show. Make sure you hit Tyler up, USA Today, the Tyler Dragon on Twitter. Give yourselves a round of applause for being a part of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Fans, each and every day, each and every week we end the show with a quote. The quote I'm in the show with tonight is, the most valuable player is the one who makes the most valuable of the most players valuable. I'm gonna repeat that. That's the most valuable player, Cleavon, is the one who makes the most players valuable. That's being a good teammate, doing your job as a teammate, and that's by Mr. Peyton Manning. Cleavon, I think I asked you this before. Is you don't like that one? Or you don't like, you hard on Peyton Manning? That's a good quote right there. The most valuable player is the one who makes the most players valuable. That's being a good teammate.
You know what? That does make sense in football.
I'm gonna ask you again. Are you still not on Peyton and Eli telecast?
I'm gonna watch that one.
You rather watch Buck and Troy, huh? Mm-hmm. No, I watch Peyton and Eli, man. Much better, much more amusing, fans. Let us know what you guys tune into. Which one you prefer, Peyton or Eli, or Troy and Buck? But again, fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Again, give Cleveland a round of applause for hanging in there, sticking with us, being as consistent as he is. As always, fans, be on the lookout for voiceofthefans.org, the website. It's on its way. It's under production. Be on the lookout for it. And fans, as always, I want to thank you for your time, and then let you know, thank you for making our voice your choice. Have a good evening.